I want to be, employed because I put the work in and my work ethic reflects what you're looking for, not because you feel sorry for me, not because you want things to look right.
A world-famous singer recalls a story from their past when their friend was assaulted. Upon establishing the perpetrator's ethnicity, he spent a period of time looking for people of that racial heritage to attack with a weapon. He recalls this story with remorse and regret, admitting he was wrong for being vengeful and denies racism. However, in the midst of public outrage, he has had his headline tour cancelled. Were they right to cancel his tour?
Whole point of apologies, you take accountability for it. You don't deny that you're a racist.
No, because this is what you guys, this is what you guys do. You guys try to put words in other people's mouths. Like, he's not accountable in your eyes. Like, you can't, or whoever, even if there's a majority of you feel like, oh, he didn't take accountability. He apologized, he recognized that what he did was wrong. Fair enough, but all of us, even if it's not to the magnitude of him going out and attacking or wanting to attack a particular type of person, we've all had negative thoughts. My opinion about, let's say, for example,
he didn't have a thought. He went out into the street looking for people to
kill. Allowed the capacity for people to change.
Exactly.
3 decades later.
3 decades later, absolutely.
30 years later.
He did not have to say that.
He didn't have to admit. You should be grateful that he is admitting.
Okay, so we should be grateful. Oh, thank you for admitting that you were racist at some point.
But what we're saying is that it was the question was.
He apologized. First of all, he apologized with the expectation that he would be forgiven.
The question was, do you agree or disagree, however polarized those opinions are, that his tour should have been cancelled? I disagree. For me personally, he has recognised, he has addressed, and what else do you want him to do?
No, but he should suffer at least some consequences.
He has. He suffered his tour is cancelled, so he's losing money.
That is the consequence. That is why we agreed that's a good thing.
Let's not forget that there are so many Liam Neesons who kill black folks every year, like in America, even in England as well. So to kind of enable them and say, oh, they apologise all the time. But
We're not
does show
enabling.
This mindset is so ingrained. Like, imagine, like, there are people out there thinking, oh, I want to kill a black person.
No, but they might just wake up and decide that they want to kill a black person. Well, the scenario was that the person got sexually assaulted by a black person, and that enraged him to the point where he wanted to go out and hurt. Even though that is not good, you can almost have some sort of compassion towards why that led him. Naturally, you might find yourself looking at that type of person a different way.
In his ignorance.
As ignorant as it sounds, if that happens to someone close to you, you feel like you have the right to feel that type of way. So for him to show, he recognises it was wrong, but he's not just waking up and saying, oh yeah, I used to go to work and mistreat the black people just because I felt like it. No, that's not what he's doing. Like, when you are real, we as a collective, we can tell you what you did was wrong, you're going to receive this humiliation, and you change your behaviour. If we don't do that and one person loses their tour because they spoke about something that was real to them, we all pretend that we're not bad people. We all are fake, and we have these thoughts and we do these things and we just don't verbalise them because we know there's consequences. I question just how much we think about race, like in our brains, when we interact with people. And it's a conversation I try to force almost when I meet people. Thank you.
Classic SOAS student. That was good.
A company founded by black owners has decided to only hire black employees. This was based upon the notion, in order for black people to be financially empowered, we must take radical steps to ensure that black people do not face marginalization in the workplace. Is it okay to discriminate in this way?
You're so dramatic.
Yeah, I strongly disagree with this because I think that if you want to try and navigate workplace racism, you can't really do that if you're working in like an all-black company, just as the same thing if you were like an all-white company. I don't think there's anything wrong with choosing who works with you, but I just don't think that at the end of the day, it will be something which is empowering.
The workplace is already white dominated. Even if one company only employs black people, that's not going to affect
I'm not saying it's discriminatory
white
to white people.
people's like
not what I'm
effective
saying.
positive discrimination schemes are important because it's already set up in a way to exclude us.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this example, this is classic liberation theory, like classic. Like the only way that you guys can liberate yourselves is if you make yourselves independent, and then you can move on forward, and you have a
but
stake
then
in
doesn't
society.
that go into like further isolation of being like, okay, this is, you know, we're doing.
We can make a comparison with the female progressive movement. So you can have like female-only art collectives, and that's a positive thing, right? Because you can have your ethos and your values implemented there and shared, while also at the same time you are all guaranteed you're working in a safe space where you feel welcome and be able to express your ideas.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
And then creating opportunities for like-minded people.
It's kind of a double standard. So, like the way society portrays black folks as lazy, like because they can't get jobs, they blame on the fact that they blame on the idea that they are incompetent. But when black folks actually want to start their own businesses and create their own spaces, they are demonized for that as well.
How long we have to, look how many conversations we have to have in order to highlight the fact and truth that within the corporate industry, it is predominantly like white.
And so why is it not BAME? Why has it not been said that it's more everyone? I'm not saying it is a bad thing. I'm just saying that if they're trying to navigate this workplace racism, why not include other ethnic minorities?
And also, let's not forget that non-black people of color, we do discriminate against black folks. Like to say that this is unfair towards like other ethnic groups, but other ethnic groups are anti-black. I'm saying this as an Iraqi person. My community is so anti-black.
My experience with race growing up has been quite unique. I grew up in Togo from the ages of 6 months to 6 years old. I was the only white kid in my school. And then I came to London. My primary school was majority Bangladeshi. There was only 4 white people in our class.
Even if we're not going to go to the extreme of saying the anti-black, I just feel like when I look at our communities, I see Asians have an industry and they recruit within their communities. Black people just don't in general, not even in terms of just because white and black Asian, we just don't have our own, we don't have our own economy.
Senior consultants within the company have noted that they may be at risk of losing out on a number of lucrative contracts, as there have been concerns from clients that their approach might be alienating important customers. Where do you stand now?
In this day and age, if you tackle that financial empowerment part of things, that racist factor will automatically reduce. For that to happen, you need financial empowerment. When we learned that this movement or this initiative or this company in this case is losing money, I decided that I don't agree with this, simply because it is failing to achieve its most important goal.
This is an enterprise that is with that specific purpose in mind. It should not have any compromises within it, right? You should not pander to people or to companies.
It is very difficult to find the balance between making social impact and still being included within an industry. But at the end of the day, the purpose of this business is to make money. So you have to understand the industry which you're stepping into, and there has to be a level of consideration in terms of what can we do. I'm not saying to completely eradicate your moral compass or principle, but just still consider what can we do to still be able to make profit, because at the end of the day, if you're not making profit, you're not feeding back into this community that you want to.
Look, if you remain dogmatic that no, we will only hire people from this community, come what may, you will eventually not be able to get that goal, that lucrative goal of financial empowerment, which is at the root of all problems regarding race. So you see, when you tackle that big, huge financial empowerment problem, which you won't be able to if you follow your approach by not diversifying or looking for solutions to get those lucrative contracts back, that will actually be degenerative to your objectives, because we all share the same goals here, but through this approach we can actually achieve them. Movements in themselves are exclusive in nature because they want to advance the interests of a certain niche group of people. Well, I'm an Indian Muslim, and well, Muslims are a rather integral part of the Indian population. When you come to a diverse country like India and then you want to talk about Muslims first, for example, that just makes the whole situation a lot more worse.
A white and a non-white candidate are up for a senior position. The ethnic minority candidate is hired by the all-white board, despite being outperformed. This is done in the interests of diverse representation. Have the board made the right decision?
You don't understand the fact that in order to get into that sector of business, you need to have someone pull you in. It's very nepotistic. It's all an old boys club. I can speak from experience in law. You have to know someone.
If I, as a consumer, I assume that you guys have employed the best suited person to carry out this job, not because you feel sorry for him. That just doesn't make sense.
This is not about feeling sorry. This is about opportunity. This is about opportunity.
There was a testing process. One person came out ahead of the other.
Yeah.
And then you choose the loser.
Maybe they got better schooling. Maybe they're from a better family. All of those things, great. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they are better, given the test that you have run at what you have asked them to do.
This is white privilege in action.
Yeah, no, I'm not agreeing with white privilege. What I'm saying is that that person is qualified. If you are only employing somebody because you feel like it's a good look for you, it's not. You don't really care about the development of that person.
But you're only solving the cosmetics of the problem.
It's entirely pragmatic.
It's from the third point, exactly. Looking at it from the third party perspective here. Meritocracy needs to always win. There needs to be change, but not at this level.
When this kid gets this job and then grows up, that is now going to trickle down and inspire everyone else that he is in.
But you have to.
What a lot of corporations do is that they would hire like a token POC just to fill like a criteria. But this person, like, they often don't bother training them.
Do you celebrate diversity and inclusion?
Not in this way.
This is a subjective
not in this
question.
way.
This company is historically white, and only so. Let's disrupt that. When I was younger, I used to be really into like guitar music and rock music, and then you survey the scene and then you barely see any, colored faces. I always felt that was something I could never really get into really fully. Like if I wanted to put myself out there, I felt as if I wouldn't be accepted into that space. So that's something that really, from an early age, impacted the way in which I saw, how people see me.
Everyone knows that there's an attainment gap, and children have that like literally since primary school. What's wrong with actually trying to close that?
We all agree that what you're saying is right, but all of us know that the change needs to be top down, not bottom up.
I want to be, employed because I put the work in and my work ethic reflects what you're looking for, not because you feel sorry for me, not because you want things to look right.
So I say it's all about image. That's not exactly about decolonization or diversity. That's just diversity, just like to protect their reputation.
So when Oxbridge take in candidates from lower socioeconomic backgrounds and also from minority ethnic backgrounds, right? Is that a bad thing?
That kind of change that you're talking about, giving scholarship, that is good change.
They should have never made them take the test. It should have just been about the fact that we need a black person or a person of colour. Then the test is irrelevant.
You need to train them from the beginning. There needs to be change on the school level, on the college level, we agree, but not on the job level. Not giving something that people don't deserve.
Also, I don't think there's anything wrong with being offended by an offensive opinion, because if you don't get offended, if you don't criticize, society can't grow.
I might feel like because I dress this way and I speak this way, people should respond to me, but that's me feeling entitled based on who I think I am.
You don't have to identify with a certain race or a certain niche line of thinking just because you were born into it and you've experienced it.
I think this was such a great learning experience, because I think I was so nervous, learned so much specifically with the company, with having the black employees. That was really insightful, because I'd never actually thought about it in the other way. Team, bring it in!
When you get outside there, people.